That might have been 3 hours. I don't know. I lost track. Yeah, I always knew that the term indie was going to be, like, skewed over time. Because when, like, the PS3 was first coming out, it was very obvious, you know? Extremely obvious, especially with the PS3 because of how weird the PS3 architecture was. It was like, you know, it was very obvious the difference between an indie game and a AAA game. But I knew over time, as stuff got easier and the hardware got easier and the software got easier and the engines got easier and resources were more available, and then on top of that, we didn't even know back then how much AI was going to affect things and outsourcing was going to affect things. But I knew that one day it would be harder to tell. I think we've definitely gotten to that point now. I think we just need a better definition. We need like a concrete definition. I think that outsourcing to a company disqualifies you. I think that's the limit for me. If you outsource, if you're one guy and you outsource to another guy for music, and you outsource to another guy for animations, and you outsource to another guy for a trailer, and overall the group is 30 people, then I think it's an indie game. If you're a group, if you're one guy and you outsource to a company of 50 to do all the animations in the game, I mean, is it that common? Like, Celeste? Did Celeste outsource to anything? I don't think so. Did Hollow Knight outsource to anything? Did Sea of Stars outsource to anything? I mean, I remember a lot of these indie games, when you finish them, the credits are not 2 seconds long. A lot of times they outsource for, like, language stuff. Also, that's insane that I got that steal that fast after not getting one for so long. I mean, maybe it's more of, like, if you outsource to something, like a main mechanic of the game. If you outsource for, like, language stuff or whatever, it's one thing. But, like, if you outsource for, like, the gameplay, then it's, like, different. I don't know. Like, how do you even come up with, like, a finite answer? There's just too much nuance when it comes to making video games. Video games are so much different than every other medium. There's so much that goes into them. To be fair, though, there probably are some people out there that think that indie games should actually just be like Celeste and Chained Echoes, Celeste, and frickin' Undertale. Like, straight up 1 to 5 people teams is like what indie games are. Like, I'm sure some people actually kind of subscribe to that. Like, what if we said that it's only an indie game if, like, the main concept of the game all came from, like, one guy? Regardless of how much you had to outsource to make it happen. The whole kind of, like, concept and idea and, like, most of the build of the game came from one guy. Would that literally be, like, 4 games or what? I was gonna say, does that mean that Smash Bros is an indie game? Because I think Smash Bros was literally like... he was technically outsourced everything, in a way. Todd Howard, my favorite indie developer. That's what's funny, though, is like, when you think about it, that is kind of, if you were to quantify it like that. What if we just went by budget and nothing else? What if we only went by budget? Would that be crazy, or would that kind of work? How do you define the cutoff? Find the most expensive indie game ever and add like $100,000. Call it a day. How's it going, Seraphic? Neon White had a budget of $2 million. How big was the team that made Neon White? Because I've never heard anyone call Neon White anything other than an indie game. And for good reason. I don't actually know how big the team was. But I mean, Neon White is a massive game, and they have like well-known voice actors and a pretty well-known musical artist. Like, that's a good point. That's a good point to counter the money argument, because Neon White is definitely an indie game, but it's a big game and they spent money on it. I don't think people really care if games are indie or not. It's more of just, we want to know for the sake of organization. Like, a game is not better or worse for being indie or not indie. But it's just for the sake of everyone understanding where everything is and organizing it in our brains and supporting indie developers and indie projects and game awards and everything. Like, it's good to have a moniker for it. But no, I agree. I've never played a game and thought, this is indie, it's better, or this is not indie, it's worse. I've had assumptions about a game before playing it. I played a game like Assassin's Creed 97 and been like, I'm a little skeptical as whether or not this is really gonna hold my attention. But, you know, at the end of the day, I don't base it off of whether or not it's made. It costs a lot of money to make or a lot of people made it. I will say that sometimes it's impressive. Like, Chained Echoes being mostly made by one person is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in my life. Like, it 100% makes me appreciate the game more. Like, holy crap. When I play it and I'm like, whoa, one person made this? It's like, no way. But yeah, that's wild. Probably do the last ring here and then see what we got. Space Invaders. Yeah, there's another question. Is every video game prior to like the 90s an indie game? Well, even like big, what you would imagine would be like a AAA title because it was made off of some big like Star Wars or E.T. or whatever. A lot of those games were made by like 3 people. Doom was made by like 3 people. Yeah, that's a good question. Can a licensed game be indie? Because a licensed game can have a small studio and be made for a very little amount of money. Like, everything that we would say is an indie can also be a licensed game. It doesn't have to be a game that they throw $10,000 in for no reason. Like, what's stopping a licensed game from being indie? Just the fact that it's licensed, so we look at it and we're like, that's a money pit. Let's see. Let's go to... I mean, I kind of agree with what we were saying before, where, like, indie is kind of more of a vibe than anything. When you play an indie game, you kind of know that it's an indie game. You get that vibe of, like, this is not trying to be Elden Ring. This is trying to tell the story of one man's vision, or a couple people's vision. This is not trying to take over the world, you know? I do need this. But what's funny is, like, we say that, and then some indie games end up taking over the world, like Minecraft. What the heck is Minecraft, by the way? Because Minecraft was an indie game, but I can't call it an indie game now. Like, you know? Like, it was indie, but it somewhere along the line became not indie. Can that happen? I guess. We saw it happen in front of our eyes. Microsoft bought it. The Nether, etc. You knew I was going to say it. Can't help myself. We could just go to Cosmic Canyon, right? Yeah, for me, and I think as we get further and further into like this gray area of what is an indie game, I think it's really just going to be the vibe check. What about VR games? Because a lot of VR games look like indie games because of how terrible they are. But they were probably made by a big studio, just didn't know what the heck they were doing. We don't talk about those. They just land in another category of what the heck are we doing? We haven't heard Cosmic Canyon enough in this playthrough. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in an MP+. He's got to have Comet as well. Ooh, that's like... that's like right where his HP was. Did we say like 1375? Oh my god. Okay, so, I mean, hopefully that's good enough. Yeah, let's just leave it. I say we just send it. Whatever happens, happens. Alright. Step 4 complete. Or something, I don't know. Not keeping track. So I think it's time. Spiderwebs. Spiderwebs. Don't forget spiderwebs. Haven't heard that sound effect in a while. No touch me F encounter, please. Yeah, I don't feel like indie games should just be determined by money, but it might be the best way to do it simply, you know. If we have to have a way, if we have to have a definition, it might be the best umbrella to get the most right. Some will be wrong, but like, I can't think of a better. If we have to have like one rule, these are indie games. That might be... that might get us the most close. The closest. Total team size works unless you get into the question of outsourcing, because then does that count as the team? And how much is too much outsourcing, and what outsourcing counts and what outsourcing doesn't count? Because I would argue that something like language doing like a separate language wouldn't count towards not being indie, you know? Oops. If you're unemployed in your mom's basement, it's indie. Well, how about that? No corporate investment. Some indie game... Okay, but don't some indie games get picked up by big developers? Like, it's happened multiple times where, like, a very small, like, super small game gets published by, like, a huge publisher because they pick them up and say, like, this is dope. So I don't think that makes you not indie. Because when they publish it, they... no. When they publish it, they just put it on their platform. They don't, like, change it. See, I don't think that counts. Oh, no. Okay. But, on the other hand of the coin, like Endo said, if Bethesda is like, we took a team of 20 people and gave them $10 million and had them make this game, that doesn't really feel too indie either. I mean, just look at how big, what's the, Devolver. Devolver's, like, huge now. Because they publish so many games, but they publish, like, all indie games. But that's what they're kind of known for, is like publishing indie games, so they kind of get a pass. No, see, and that's what I'm saying, like, when a big developer or a big publisher picks up a small project, it's usually just to publish it. They don't touch it. They just, we want this. Maybe they want it exclusive on their platform, like Ori and the Blind Forest. Microsoft was like, yeah, we want this, and like scooped it up. So yeah, like, they don't give it money, they just publish it. Which I don't know if they technically published Ori, or if they just, like, bought it out or whatever, but yeah. That's why I feel like indie games really are just a vibe, because a lot of times what makes an indie game special is that it feels like a passion project, you know? And that you're not going to get from any numbers. You're not going to get that from how many people worked on it or what money. It's more of just like the vibe. No touch me F, no touch me F, no touch me F. Okay. I think we're ready. I think we are ready to rock. So, first of all, we need Barret in the party. And actually, let me think about this for a second. When do we get Barret out of the party? Because we need Barret to do the gold saucer cutscene. Is that what it was? When we drop off Red 13, we get a menu? So I think we go into, because you have to have Barret in the party when you go to the gold saucer or else the game soft locks. But I think we also want Red 13 out of the party. But do we get a menu? Does a menu pop up if Red 13's out of the party already? I think we want to bring Red 13 so that when he leaves, we get a party thing to pop up. Right. So I think we want to bring Barret Red 13. Yeah, we have to have the party now because we can't touch the once we do the glitch, we can't get back in the ship. So I think we want Barret Red 13. We go do the glitch, then we go drop off Red 13, then we set up the party correctly, then we go fight the boys. Okay. So now we are officially going back in time. And this also unlocks Gold Saucer for us later. Our other playthroughs, we couldn't do this, so Gold Saucer was off limits. But since in this playthrough we have to do this, now Gold Saucer will be available to us if we want to do anything. If we need to like Chocobo race for extra hero drinks or something. Which hopefully we do not. Yes, we have the gigawatts required to go back in time. Is that an actual thing, by the way, or did they make it up for the movie? Not the going back in time part, but the gigawatts. They just mispronounced gigawatts. You think that's what it was? They just didn't know how to pronounce it. That's so funny if that's the case. Like, they just gave him the script and he just didn't even know. That's so funny. I never knew that. Okay. Now we go drop off Red 13. And hopefully... Hold on. Put this somewhere where I can find it. Hopefully, it will give us the option to reset our team so we can bring the right people to get XP. And this is why we bring Red 13, because if you don't, then it doesn't give you a menu. Does it give you... Okay, we have to talk first, right? Do we get a menu? There it is. Okay. And we want to bring these two. Well, no, wait. The sheet has Red 13, but we're doing this before now. So instead of Red 13, we bring Barrett. No. These two. But we can't bring Sid. Oh man, this is actually really... Oh, crap. This is actually really complicated. Oh no. I mean, it was already complicated, but... Okay, so... We need Sid in the party now. Or we need Sid out of the party now. Because if we go to Rocket Town with Sid in the party, the game soft locks. But we don't want to fight the guards with Sid out of the party, because then he'll get experience. So, do we do the guard fight first, so we can do it with Sid out of the party, but then Red 13 gets XP? Or do we do Rocket Town first, get rid of Aerith, and then do the guards right before carry armor? If we do the guards right before carry armor, then we could bring Sid, because there'd be no other soft lock. And Aerith's already gone. So we could bring Sid Tifa. And Red 13 will still be gone. But do we get a menu to ever change our party, though? Or would that force us to do carry armor with the wrong party? We get a menu for Temple, I think, because it forces Aerith into the party. And when Aerith leaves, we get a menu, I think. Do we? I don't think we do. Doesn't it force Cloud and Aerith in the party? Or Cloud and Tifa? Sorry, Barrett and Tifa. When Cloud wakes up, doesn't it force Tifa Barrett? And I don't think there's any way to change our party at that point. Because we still can't get in the high wind. I don't think we can. Unless the cutscene moves game moment, but I thought game moment doesn't move till after you beat carry armor, I think. I don't think game moment moves. How are we gonna do this? We definitely don't want Cloud soloing the guards. Then Sid and Tifa both get XP. So our options are... bring... I might I might have to like I might have to actually like break out the paint and write this down. I might have to bring out the spreadsheet because like if we take Sid out now, which we have to do, or the game soft locks. Now Sid gets... If you didn't pass out in Great Glacier and you didn't talk to Halzoff, you could talk to him to change your party after leaving his house after Temple. I think that would be impossible because there's no way to get your elixirs without passing out eventually. There's no way to reset your step count. Yeah, you can get to Great Glacier now. Well, can you? You can, but I think you'd be stuck. I think you'd be stuck having to do the whole thing again. No, you could take the high wind out. Bone Village just gives ethers, not elixirs. I just need to, like, visualize this, because... I'm having a hard time visualizing all the possibilities. What the... Why is that a giant black box? There we go. Okay, so, like... Let's try to make this make sense. So we have should have done this in Photoshop. Okay, so we pretend like Aerith doesn't have X's in her eyes. We have Route A. Oh my god, I haven't used paint in like 70 million years. Route A is what we were doing just now, which is We do... I mean, I think we do the first 2 guards, like, no matter what, the way we did it. Because we have to set up the glitch anyways, so that's fine. So in this route, we drop off Red 13. And so our party becomes Cloud, we can't have Sid. I gotta, like... This is... How do I change the brush? How do I change the size of the brush? Over here? Oh, nice. Okay. So this is Sid. Do that in like red. This is Sid. Pretend that's Sid. So Sid has to be out in the PHS, right? And so it has to be Aerith that goes for the guards. And Sid gets PHS. Red 13's gone. And then we go fight. We fight the guards. And then we go to Rocket Town. Sid is still out of the party because he has to be or he soft locks the game. And we do Rocket Town. Which is just Palmer. And then do we get a PHS? I feel like we do. When the Tiny Bronco pops up, we get a PHS, right? And Sid's level gets reset. Well, not reset, but he gets a bunch of XP. And then oh, I forgot about Tifa. Shouldn't Tifa be in? Wouldn't it actually be Tifa? This would be Tifa. And then God, I might just have to do all these because I just have no idea. Because our other option is we do the guards with Red 13. So that, like, before we get rid of Red 13, it's bad for XP, but then it also means Sid cannot get XP. The problem is, here Sid's getting XP with the guards. Route B. Route B, we keep Red 13. Which means Sid can be in the party and not get XP. But then Red 13 gets extra XP. Then we get rid of Red 13. And then as long as we get a PHS, it should work out the same. But we don't get a PHS here. Right? We've already done the glitch, so we can't get back in the high wind to take Sid out. So wait, it's a moot point anyways. Because Sid would be stuck in our party and we'd get soft locked. Unless we took Red 13 in the party. No, we would. We would need one here or else the game soft locks. You see what I'm saying? Because when we dropped off Red 13, we wouldn't get a menu. Because he's in the PHS. So the only way this works is if Red 13 is in the party. But if Red 13 is in the party, then Tifa has to be out of the party, and Tifa gets a bunch of XP that we don't want her to get. So I think this route's a moot point. I think we have to get rid of red 13 first. So I think this route is a moot point. But what about doing this? I tested getting elixirs in Great Glacier. You can exit to the world map to reset the pass out timer. Okay. So if we did the elixir trick so that we had an extra PHS in the village, then we could technically bring red 13 back in the party. So let's say we can. Let's say that's a thing we can do, just for the sake of argument. We bring red 13 back in just so we can get a menu, and then we end up with this again. Is this better than this? Giving red 13 a little extra XP, but giving Sid no XP. Is that better? It depends on how Sid's leveling thing works. I think we might have to test it. Then guards with Sid. But I don't think we want to do guards with Sid. Slog's saying that it's worse. But isn't... Sid's level 9 right now. What level is red 13? He's higher, right? Or is he lower? No, red 13's lower. He's 7. Sid is 9. Because of the 2 fights. Because of the 2 soldier fights. Which is what you have in your sheet, because he gets 10k XP anyways. So... this should be better. To give Sid some XP. Because he's higher than red 13. Giving red 13 XP is bad. He's only level 7. So I think this route is definitely wrong. Which is good, because that probably means we don't need to do the elixir thing. But here's the next question. Here's the next question. We do this, like this, and then we have temple. That's kind of terrible to read. We have temple, which I believe we're going to get a menu for. Aerith is forced, obviously. So it's going to be Aerith Tifa. And it's Aerith Tifa anyway, so it's not a problem. So it should just be this again. And then after Temple, we go right to Carry Armor. But I think Barret and Tifa are forced. In which case, the elixir thing might be an idea. But I guess we could figure that out when we get there. Because I think we're certain that this is what we want to do for this. I don't think there's any way around it, because doing the guards with Red 13 is going to be bad either way. So I think we're okay to continue here. Because no matter what, this is how we want to do it. But before we get too into Temple, we might want to test this thing after Temple, because that might cause big problems.